Hey there, TJ. All the way in Saipan, we've heard that you've had some little fun in the hospital. Actually, we heard it's not fun at all. We also heard that you like Curious George and have been watching all kinds of DVDs. Well, I want to tell you a little bit about Curious George that you probably never heard about. They're called books. Back in the old days, yep, there's no discs in here, and you can't even color it. This is called a book. And we actually read these. And this is a book that I've actually read to my little son, Keoni. He loves Curious George too. So, sit back. I already know you're kicking it in the hospital right now, so why don't you relax and listen as I read you Curious George Plays Mini Golf. Curious George plays mini golf. George and Steve were good friends. They liked to play games. Steve always had high score. He always won. One day, Steve invited George to play mini golf. Now, this was a new game for George. He was curious. Maybe he could win this time. Steve hit the ball 1, 2, 3 times. Now it was George's turn. George took big swings. His ball hit 2 trees. George swung his golf club many times to get the high score. And George hit the ball again and again and again. It went all over the golf course. Golf was easy. But George hit the ball as many times as he could. And finally, he hit it right into the hole. At the end of the game, Steve read the scores. Steve 35, Betsy 58, and George 250. George had the highest score. He was so happy he won. You know what kind of sounds George makes when he wins, like But George, in golf, the lowest score is the best, Betsy told him. I won the game, Steve said. George was surprised. How could a small number be better than the big number? George had an idea. He wanted to win in golf, but he had to practice. George asked his friends if he could borrow some things from their house. George made a golf course on the roof. A paper towel roll was his club. He blew in one end and air came out the other end. The ball moved and he was ready to play. George invited Steve over. George played first. He blew through the tube and got a hole in one. Steve was next, but it took him 8 tries to get the ball in the hole. George counted the points, and George had the lowest score. Finally, he was the winner of mini golf. Well, the winner of monkey mini golf. Well, hey, TJ, we hope that you get better soon. We know that your mom and dad are taking care of you, and all those doctors and nurses are looking out for you. So hopefully when you're done, if you ever come back to Saipan, we could challenge each other to a little game of mini golf. And who knows, maybe we'll find Curious George out there on the course too. Get well, buddy, and we'll see you soon. And good luck, Seahawks.